Good evening and welcome to the Town of Acton Selectmen's meeting for May 31st, 2016. First item on the agenda, a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda.
Seconded?
All in favor? Approval of the minutes of the last meeting?
I move that we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Got your change, yes.
Okay, seconded.
All in favor? All right. Department head, CEO update.
Good evening. I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on a couple of the court cases we're finishing and where we're going with a couple of the other ones. Let's see. The one we had on Great East Lake, that pretty much is 99% all cleaned up. The site's all cleaned. The fine's been paid to the town, all set. I've just got a shed he's got to get out of there. One of the abutters ended up buying the parcel before the court order was finished, but we held the court order against the new person, so that one's all cleaned up, that one's all set. Second one we had was up on Fox's Ridge. That one ended up being settled about 5 minutes before the trial hit it on that. The judge found in favor of the town, and we went into a consent agreement on that one, cleaned the yard up, and they've voluntarily taken the house down, but that's part of the court order as well. So that's also a $2,000 penalty, and we requested that be paid prior to the fiscal year, so we get it into last year's money, and that'll go into that one.
But you haven't got the fee yet.
No, I think he's got about another 10, 12 days on that there. I had some photos on the other ones. We've got about 47 open violation cases right now, and my top three that I may have issues that will involve you guys is, one is a brand new house with no permits in the resource protection zone. Luckily, it's not drywalled insulated, so we're at that point now. I think they have more resource protection issues than building code issues. The owners are extremely cooperative, very willing to work with us. They're giving us all the information we're looking for before we need to ask for it. So that one I think is going to go pretty good without a consent agreement. Their biggest issue is going to be resource protection. They've got a couple of beautiful ponds out there, and it's all in the resource protection zone. They've got some surveys, wetlands delineators out there working, trying to determine exactly where that buffer is, so they know whether they're in it or out of it. And that's going to be key with that one there.
Did they dig the ponds or the ponds are already there?
Oh, no, they dug them.
Fill them in? It won't be wetland, right?
Oh, that's one of them right there.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of dirt. How big is the pond?
I'd say there's a couple acres of ponds out there.
Wow.
I had a bunch of photos for you guys, but I didn't make it in the package up here. So one of the main concerns I had is they had silt fence around all the ponds for the construction. I have to ask why they even bothered with that. They broke every rule in the book, but they got the silt fence up. So again, extremely willing to work with us. I think that's gonna go okay. And
So they have a whole house all framed and don't have any permit at all?
none. So there's some inspection issues and stuff we can deal with to get past on that. And they're extremely cooperative. So at this point, they just want to get it resolved and move forward. The second one I have is in the shoreland zone, there's 3 reasons you need to relocate an existing house. One is you're ripping down and building brand new. Second one is, and this is a non-conforming structure, it's too close to the water. Second one is you're doing a foundation underneath it. The third one, which is more complicated to enforce, is you remove 50% of the value. That's kind of similar to the Little Red Schoolhouse issue we had.
Yeah.
So this individual, I reiterated several times with him the 50% rule is enough, so he was getting a little agitated with it. And I required him to send me an email, and he cut and pasted the 50%, set it in there. It was a condition on his permit, so we go out to do the inspections, and the only thing left original was a floor and maybe a wall and a half. So he's exceeded it. He's gone through the planning board process, which may include relocating the house, and He's not happy, but he's in the process for that, so it's kind of after the fact, and that'll bring you guys in eventually with fees and things like that. If they work with us, we'll come up and see what we can reduce, depending on the amount of time and effort we had to put into it. Let's see if I got this third one.
After I saw what they did with Richard Nass's barn, I'm sure they could move it.
Oh, it's the easiest thing I've ever seen to move. You can almost hook a tow truck to it, just pull it back a little bit. I mean, it's just simple and easy. My third one, I wish I could have grabbed the pictures of it. Issued a permit to a gentleman, brand-new homeowner on Square Pond to cut 3 trees. He cut the 3 trees and probably 20 or 30 others, plus or minus, stripped the whole lot, removed all the vegetation from it. Working with the individual, he was going to hire a consultant, give us a revegetation plan, fill out the conditional use permits and all that stuff. And after about 3 weeks, I tried to track him down again, and now he's not willing to do any of it. He's got a notice of violation we're working on with him, but after talking with him today, he really doesn't want to replant anything. So a lot of people think they can just pay a violation fee or whatever, but really the state law says you need to revegetate it and reestablish it to back how it was. So that one's going to be a fight. So we'll have, hopefully you can mitigate it out with a consent agreement, not have to go to court, but I think that one's going to be a lot tougher. And it's something like that that really just sucks up a lot of our time. This time of year when people have permits and inspections and things like that, we can keep up to that real good, but you get a couple of these and it's just kills your time. Absorbs a lot of it, so. And that's all I have.
Thanks a lot, Ken.
Awesome. Enjoy your evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Warren and Finance?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So last night, the Warrant and Finance Committee met to make our recommendation on Article 57. And wanted to give a little background about that article. Last week during this meeting, it was announced that when this board came together, there was in 2012, there was an undesignated fund balance of $500,000, $350,000 of which was unclaimed taxes, or unpaid rather. And so that didn't ring quite right with me, so I went through the auditor's reports, starting from 2006 and going through to 2015. As you can see, in 2012, the undesignated fund balance was $979,713, and taxes receivable, that would be the unpaid taxes, was $232,144. Why does this matter? Well, the Warrant and Finance Committee, in our recommendation last night, we recommended disapproval of the article because we can't recommend a different figure that we think would be more appropriate. But given that the undesignated fund balance as of June 30, 2015 was $1,290,000, we felt that the townspeople should be pushing rather aggressively for a larger amount of money to be put forward to offset taxation. Spoke with the treasurer, and she said that our monthly bills are about $400,000. That the auditor recommends that the town and school combined undesignated fund balance equal 3 months worth of bills, which would be $1.2 million. The school has an undesignated fund balance policy as recommended by the auditor, and they keep about $250,000 in their undesignated fund. When you pair that with the town of Acton's of $1,290,000, you end up with an undesignated fund of just about $340,000 over the point where the auditors say that we should be shooting for. So the Warrant and Finance Committee recommendation is reflecting the undesignated fund balance that we currently have and the history of the undesignated balance in the last few years. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, old business, Jim.
So this isn't so much about the gym door at this point. This is the gym in general. So since we moved back upstairs, I've had my cable IT guy, Kim Dunlap, who does all of our Cat 9, Cat 5 cables. I've had American Security out. They've both been out twice, and they can't figure out why it's not working.
The door?
Not the door. We can't get the original program, the Hub Master program, to work. So we're beyond trying to fix the door because we can't even get the program to work the way it was before we went downstairs.
Is that where you have the list of all the people that are, their cards and all that?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have access to that list, I just can't add it or take people away, or, so we had decided, remember, just to keep going with the gym, and, I have people that are waiting patiently to join the gym. I'm not sure what to do next. I mean, the American Security has no training and no background on this, program, as they've told you before. Kim Dunlap, who is Dunlap Cabling, I mean, he's wired most of this entire building. I mean, every jack that we have that plugs in a computer or a telephone is something that he's run. I mean, went as far as to, he asked for some specs from American Security to kind of figure out what was what and how many connections there should be, and it's just way over my head, especially with this hay fever I'm dealing with. But I mean, they're just not able to work together because they don't know, you know what I mean? American Security just doesn't know the product. We've had conference calls, we have them both here at the same time.
So did that program come with the new door lock that we put on with American Security? They gave us the program at the same time?
They sold us the program, yes. That was under a prior owner, and, I guess in their defense, I mean, they've come to us several times now and said that, they can't give us support on it.
So we're talking about a whole new system, a whole new program, computer program, and a whole new locking system for the door?
I mean, yes and no. At the same time, we still have to figure out what's wrong with the jack, because no matter what type of system you put in there, you're gonna need those computers in that front room to be able to communicate with that door. I mean, there still has to be a hub or some sort of jack, so, I'm gonna bring in a third party that I think might be able to do some assistance, and I'll have a, final answer or maybe a final suggestion for you next week. But at this point, we apologize, we can't, it's completely out of our hands. I'm doing everything I can, but, I just can't get in there.
When do they run out?
Everybody runs out June 30th, so our year-round residents are good and have prepaid.
We just can't take anybody new until...
Right, that's the thing. And it's mainly the summer residents that are coming, they like to sign up for the 3 months. So.
Okay, no update on the fire chief ad. Abandoned properties, no update. Sign the June 14th, 2016 town meeting warrant.
I gave to the Warren and Finance Chair to take one last look at.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You had my master.
All for it. I apologize.
I just wanted to make sure that I typed their last recommendation in properly. And I hear from her via email, so
Yeah, and thank you guys for meeting on a holiday, that was nice.
if you want to take a look at it, everything should be there and complete. I've had Michelle proof it. However, I did send it to all of you, hoping that, it's good. There is one article, technically, that you didn't make a recommendation on. I should probably,
Which one?
I'm gonna say 7. It's the one, we started at 12, remember, because we got through all the
Oh, yeah.
humble jumble. Just don't write on it. But if you want to read it out loud and make it official.
Okay. Article 7, to see if the town will vote to abolish the existing Conservation Committee and Forest Committee and combine their existing duties through the creation of a new Conservation and Forest Committee, which shall be composed got an extra E, of 7 members, all initially elected at the June 2016 annual town meeting as follows. 2 members elected for 1 year, 2 members elected for 2 years, and 2 members elected for 3 years, and with each subsequently elected official to serve a 3-year term. The 7th member of the committee shall be the town forester. Board of Selectmen recommends a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the article as written.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, motion on the warrant.
A motion, we sign the June 2014 town warrant.
Second.
All in favor?
June 2016 warrant?
You have 14 written down here in the minutes.
June 14th, that's the day of the meeting.
Ah.
I was thinking you meant year. Again. Just get through the day.
Candidate night live. I'll stay out of this one.
I received a phone call, Ed, Bill, requesting the candidates night be run live, not only filmed. A couple of the thoughts behind it were, because it's being held, essentially a week before the election and a day or two to turn around. They want to be able to see it while absentee ballots are still available, and, you know, it could take a couple of days to get on cable. Some people are just not able to get out as well. It was just a simple phone request, so something you guys can discuss and decide what you think.
It takes about 2 or 3 days to get it turned around, to get it on the air.
2 or 3, depending on what
I don't see a problem doing it live, as long as the audience realizes it's live, and to act accordingly, I guess, is the best way to put it. So, I mean, I don't foresee a problem, but they just need to know.
Bill, do you have any
The little,
thoughts?
the little beep button doesn't exist.
Who's moderating?
Well, I mean, can I give you my opinion? And it, you know, it's just my opinion. It doesn't, you know. I personally don't think it should be run live. I think that, I mean, you know, not knowing, it's not a town-run function. We don't know what the questions are in advance. The candidates don't know what the questions are in advance. There's no, you know, you can't edit if somebody swears.
There's no censorship to it, so.
But at the same time, the individual that I spoke to had very valid points that, you know, we're choosing a selectman, for example, and the selectmen meetings are run live, so we take that risk as well. I mean, it's kind of 50-50. I mean, I don't know if, you want to take input from anybody else that might give an opinion. It's just one of those chances that you take.
I have an opinion, shocking as that may be. Is there a way, so the select board meetings are filmed live, and then they are up for broadcast on the website the next day.
Correct.
Is there a way that we could say to Mike Corey, because in the past, we have occasionally had candidates' nights that got a little rowdy, and we are somewhat concerned about them being live. We want to film it, but the expectation is that that will be up and running both on the cable channel and available for viewing on the website the next day, the same way that we do the select board meetings?
Yeah, I mean, Michael, you know, is great at his job, and he will certainly take whatever direction I give him. I mean, he's good like that, you know, anytime we've needed something rushed or, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I agree, I mean, I agree with the side that, you know, it is only a week away from elections, so it needs to be up quick. As long as Mike can get it up and running within 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, the censorship side of it does concern me if somebody gets a little heated. So, you know, and that could be anyone, so.
Bill, what do you think about it?
I wouldn't do it live.
I mean, and then, you know, even if, and then, you know, the question always comes if someone does get, you know, heated, I mean, you define heated, who's it gonna be to decide what gets edited and what doesn't, you know what I mean? That's, you know, because
You
my
can-
opinion of something being heated might
Right.
be different than yours, or, you know, you.
Right.
So it,
And that could be edited out with 3 or 4 people looking at it versus letting it go live and suffer the consequences.
Mike would only edit what would be illegal for the station
Right.
broadcast.
Yeah.
He'll only-
He wouldn't, because
Right.
you've seen some of the meetings from some of the
Conservation.
committees, and he doesn't edit anything else, so.
George
He-
Cal- George
he edits
Callen comes to mind on this, and I'm gonna leave that
swear
alone, but,
swears.
yeah.
Williams, my question is, why are we worried about this if this is not a town-sponsored meeting? And shouldn't someone at the beginning advise the TV audience that this is not a town-sponsored meeting, it's sponsored by the Democrat and Republican parties?
Because at the end of the day, we're still responsible for what goes on the town cable channel.
Possibly. But when
Definitely.
we ask, what does the parties say? What do the two parties say?
We don't get involved in that because we don't ask them.
I don't think it's any of our business. If somebody wants to have them televised, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you would go live as well?
I would go live and put at the beginning reminding everybody that this is not a town function. This is
Yeah, like-
sponsored by the two political parties.
Like Jennifer says, though, we are still responsible for what ends up going out on the broadcast, so I guess I'd have to say, let's make sure Mike can get it up within a 24-hour period, be my opinion, I guess. Just to be on the safe side.
Bill?
I don't think it should be live.
And I think that's what Ed's saying.
That's what I'm
is
saying, yeah. Yeah,
not
leave
live,
it,
assuming it's
leave
24
it taped
hours.
as long as we can get it on within 24 hours.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we have any other business? No? Any more public comment? No? Announcements? Election, absentee ballots, and town meeting.
Just a reminder that everything that's going on, June 14th, we just talked about, 8 to 8. Town meeting is Saturday at the school, starting at 9. And the last day to get absentee ballots is the Thursday before the election, unless you meet specifications as defined by the Secretary of State's office.
All right, York County Select Boards. The public hearing on 2017 proposed budget for the County of York will be held on Wednesday, June 1st, 2016, at 6:30 PM in the Emergency Management Agency Room of the York County Government Building, 149 Jordan Springs Road in Alfred. Is that the old jail?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because that's where they do their, no,
That's where the commissioners are,
it's
is the
the
old jail.
courthouse, isn't it?
That's the new, that's the new
Courthouse.
building.
Yeah.
What used to be the old jail, one jail ago. It's the one right on.
On Route, yeah, okay.
Yep.
This is your opportunity to attend the public hearing, comment on the budget. Attaches a revenue and expenditure summary for the budget for 2017. The proposed fiscal year 2017 County of York General Fund budget proposal contains a $513,878 increase above fiscal year 2016. That increase amounts to 2.70%. Also attached is a draft of the proposed fiscal year 2017 County of York tax assessment for your review. Depending on the comments received at the public hearing, the York County Budget Committee will take the appropriate next steps in the process. We look forward to your comments. Thank you for your consideration. Do they break it down by town? Yes, they do. Acton has a state valuation of $536,100,000. Our tax bill from the county, if this budget passes, will be $293,072.61. 1.79% it looks like increase. All right.
The next one, I had a resident come in and ask me to personally invite you guys to their Mouse and Lake Region Association annual meeting. Apparently they hold it at the fairgrounds every year, so it's on June 25th at 9 o'clock.
Is that a Saturday?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. All right, and Life Flight Foundation, thank you. Dear citizens of Acton, thank you for your generous contribution to Life Flight. Your gift helps us to be there for critically ill or injured patients when they need us. Like 2-year-old Oliver, who accidentally swallowed lamp oil while visiting his grandparents in Islesboro. In just a few short minutes, Oliver became extremely sick. Your contribution helps to fund crucial things like advanced training for our highly skilled flight crew who cared for Oliver over the nimble helicopter that swiftly transported him off the island to specialty care. You have helped to ensure we will be there for patients like Oliver, who is now safe and healthy. Thank you for being part of the life-saving family. Your personal support strengthens the team, and every donation contributes to our ability to get patients the help they need. When you hear the aircraft fly overhead, take pride in knowing it's your flying hospital. That's nice.
It is nice, it's nice
It
to
is.
hear. Can I add just a couple of little things? I thought that maybe one of the road guys might get up, so since they didn't, I just wanted to thank, on behalf of the board and the town, of Scott and David both. They worked together, they got the old sand and salt building is completely empty, Scott told me today. He said the barricades are back up, David, and it's back to the way it is, so we've been able to clear that off with Maine Municipal. So, thank you guys. And,
And the roof's up on the public salt building.
I didn't, do you ever,
The what?
I didn't get,
The roof is up on the public salt building. We put that on there also.
Nice.
Oh, the little one. Oh,
Did
great.
it already have, it didn't come with a roof? You mean the old one?
We put the blocks up this spring, and there wasn't money in the account to do it.
Come up so we can hear you. Come up, both of you come up.
He can handle it.
No, we put the roof back on the salt sand public building because Dave needed the blocks and it needed to be done. One loader was to be able to lift it a little better than the other loader, so we got that done, also cleaned out, blocked off, and it's all good to go.
So you didn't need those blocks to barricade the building?
We had some extras, there's 3 left there, I believe. Dave's gonna use them, I believe.
Yeah.
And Goose Pond Road got paved.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Go ahead, David. No? All right, and the other one that we took off was the Maine Municipal at the fire station. We were just waiting to
got the
confirm.
alarm working?
Yeah, so Rick went over today and personally tested it to make sure that it's on, so those 2 things are off our agenda, and we've sent something over to Maine Municipal telling them they're completed.
Great.
Thank you.
That's good. All right, a motion?
I move we adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?